How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Emnix Plays Path of Exile, Ancestor League. You might notice that this area looks a little bit different from where we last left off. I have to admit that I have made a mistake, a gaffe, or in chess terms, a blunder. I pretty much recorded 2 episodes and realized that my mic was on mute. So unfortunately, and okay, like I'll be straight, some of it I played off stream as well, but I basically played some of Act 6 and Act 7 and all of Act 7 on mute. And in a fit of rage, it deleted the episodes. I'm like, God damn it! Those episodes are gone. What a waste. I'm not gonna voice over these episodes. And I deleted it. So unfortunately, last time we were in Chamber of Innocence, Act 5. Now we're in Act 8, and I've gotten my second ascendancy as well. I mean, we can talk over the build real quick. I actually played a good amount off stream on my Steam Deck, but a lot of that was playing heists, as well as the Ancestor tournaments. The tournament is really fun. I know the league mechanic is not actually that rewarding, but it's super fun, and I can't put it down. I cannot put it down. I keep playing it. You hardly get any EXP. You hardly get any loot. I still can't stop playing it. But let's talk about the build real quick. Not too much has changed. Last time, the biggest change probably is right here. Last time we were playing Frostbolt with like lesser multiple projectiles and greater multiple projectiles. We were throwing like 8 Frostbolts. It was a little excessive. It wasn't doing much damage. So now I have Frostbolt, greater multiple projectiles, return projectile still, and I'm doing added cold damage. Just because, really. Just for a little bit of extra damage. Aside from that, Ice Nova, Cold Penetration. These are all damage support gems, which are essentially Spell Echo and increased AoE. It actually looks really cool. Let me just show it in the Rampart. We throw the Frostbolt once, and what's nice about playing Frostbolt Ice Nova is that generally, when you cast Ice Nova, you're stuck in animation. See this? I cast Ice Nova, I can't actually move. Wait, my Frostbolts are... See, I'm trying to move away. I can't move until the end of the cast, and I cast it twice. But when I cast Frostbolt Ice Nova, it casts on 2 Frostbolts, which means it casts twice right from the start, and then it does it again. So I get 4 casts. See, 2 casts and another 2 casts. So you get Spell Echo that way. And not only that, when you cast Frost Nova this way, you can immediately run away. Notice this? I cast Ice Nova, and I'm moving. I cast, I'm moving. I cast, I'm moving. So you don't get stuck in place while casting Ice Nova, which is huge. So this gives you the ability to cast Frostbolt. That's when you get stuck, and now you can move around, and it gives you the ability to evade attacks, and makes this build a lot smoother to play. The problem with self-cast builds a lot of times is you're stuck in animation. And you can't move while you're casting your spells. Whereas what we're doing here, it basically gives us the ability to sort of... It gives us more defensive power, just because of the fact that we don't get stuck, right? So yeah, so now we're in Act 8. The towns still load really slow. Is anybody else having this problem? Is it just me? Definitely, there's something going on in this league with the way towns are loading. It takes me forever. Like there's, originally we were playing like Don't Breathe while going into towns. Well, now it's like I just don't want to be in towns. It takes so long. But yeah, so aside from that, I picked up my second ascendancy, like I mentioned. Our first one was Void Beacon. It makes nearby enemies have -20 to cold resistance. Pretty good, just because we're using we're playing a cold skill. And then we also getting Forbidden Power. That was my second one. When we played it the first time around, I got Profane Bloom. I wasn't that happy with it, so this time around I got Forbidden Power right from the get-go. It gives us +1 to maximum power charges. We gain power charge after spending 200 mana, and then we get 6% damage per power charge, 6% AoE per power charge. I have 6 power charges. Wait, 5? and 5 power charges. I have 6 power charges. Okay, so I have 6 power charges. So that would equate to 36 increased AoE, 36% increased damage. And then I also have a cluster over here where it's like 8% increased damage per power charge. So here's another 48%. This is 30% crit multi. So these are all very good nodes. And I'm actually probably going to take the mastery where it's another 3% increased damage per endurance, frenzy, or power charge. Probably going to take that at some point. Otherwise, this build looks very similar to what we did the first time around. I have some AoE nodes here, some AoE nodes here. Probably going to go for crit after. I have some aura nodes here. I went down here to get more power charges. Basically, we go for auras, AoE, power charge, and the rest is all in defenses. And later on, I'm probably just going to get more crit. I did get some tattoos that I've applied to my character. Over here, I have, well, this is a nothing tattoo. I put some knockback on it. And then I put some mana regen tattoos on my character as well, just because mana has been a pretty big problem on this character. These skills cost a lot of mana. Frostbolt is 59 mana per cast. Ice Nova is 53 mana per cast. I could go Eldritch Battery and make my energy shield my mana instead. But I realized I could just apply a couple of these mana regen tattoos and it kind of fixes my mana as well. So that's what I'm going to do for now. Is there anything else to talk about? Oh, gear-wise. The first time when I was playing, I did dual-wield wands. I realized that the defenses were not good enough. So this time around, I'm doing wand and shield, and my damage is still looking pretty good. Partly because I over-leveled the crap out of the content. I was just playing a lot of delves and stuff. But the shield gives me life, resistances, chance to avoid elemental ailments, which seems pretty good. The wand is just damage, spell damage, flat damage. I actually rolled it pretty well. Cast speed, crit multi. Everything else, life, resistance, life, resistance, life, resistance, movement speed. These boots are insane, actually. I got basically all the good rolls. Life, triple resistance, 20% move speed. I don't think I'm moving away from these boots for a long time. And then since my resistances and stats were looking so good, I ended up picking up the Thrills Steel Barbute helmet. I think I got it while doing Bestiary. I did one of those Bestiary recipes for a unique helmet. This is the one that showed up. It gives you Onslaught, and that's it, no other stat. But Onslaught makes you attack 20% faster, cast and moves, and increases your move speed by 20% faster. So 20% to attack speed, cast speed, movement speed. That's pretty good as well. So basically we have a character that does good damage, is not hindered by, you know, the standard self-cast, you know, stuck in place animations. Sorry, I'm taking a sip of water here. Just hydrating. Has good damage, has decent defenses, moves pretty quick, and you can just kind of see it feels pretty good. So at this point, I mean, we are over leveled. Like, don't get me wrong, if you've been rushing the content and not really slowing down to pick up gear, I don't think it would look like this. This is purely a result of the fact that I've been playing off stream and I've been just sticking around off stream. I've been doing delves, I've been doing heists, I've been doing like a whole bunch of like whatever content that doesn't actually translate to direct campaign progression. You know, you get character progression, right? We're leveling up, our gems are leveling up most importantly, and gem levels makes a big deal for spell builds, right? If you're playing any spells, if you can level up your gems past, you know, the level of your content, so if you're having trouble there, this is definitely a good way to deal with that. And you can see our HP actually isn't looking that hot. You know, often at times we are dropping down to less than 50%. So it is something to be careful of. A lot of it is poison, right? Chaos damage, poison damage. So just keep that. Just be careful of that. Like, I don't have good chaos resistance. Definitely don't have that. But otherwise, yeah, it's looking pretty good, right? And, you know, typically Act 8, 9, 10, from my experience, that's where my defense is starting to taper off. And I'm trying to make up for it with better offense, but I don't know. It might not work. I think as we play further and further into maps and into the late game, defenses will have to be my focus. Alternatively, I could go for like being able to freeze things. That's a good defense too, but basically whatever we choose to do is going to require a little bit of investment and a little bit of patience. So, you know, I just have to keep telling myself, even if defenses don't look good, just be patient about it. And over time, we should be able to fix all the deficiencies of this build. And you know, plenty exist. It's not like this build is perfect. There's a reason why this build is super off meta. Like, it's not. I can't find a guide for it. Like, I don't even know how. Like, I don't think there are that many people playing it, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think this is a really cool set of skills. And it just feels really good with the return projectile stuff. It really does. Okay, so I do want to actually, what am I doing next here? I guess we'll take I guess I'll take the damage first. Okay, let's start with that. Okay, let's do the expedition as well. Let's see. Okay, so we'll just do this, this. Okay, I can reach that, nice. And then just that. Okay, that's pretty good. And actually, what's really nice about the return projectile is we just get so much more sustain on our frostbolts. I'm not stuck casting frostbolt all the time. You know, I cast it a couple times, and once I'm done casting, you know, the third or fourth time, the frostbolts from the first wave typically return to me, and it just makes this skill play so much more smoothly. It's nice. It's really nice. This can stop leveling. Actually, no, that cannot stop with leveling. This will keep leveling. This will stop leveling. Okay.
When I'm ready and not before.
So yeah, there isn't much else going on right now. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to record too much. My daughter's actually quite sick, which is not a surprise when it comes to babies. Actually, they just get sick from everything. Everything makes them sick, and it's, you know, as a result, we're not sleeping much either. We're just a lot busier as a result, you know, taking care of her. And most of my playing hasn't been on the PC. It hasn't been, you know, I haven't been recording as much. A lot of it has admittedly been, you know, sitting on the couch, lying in bed, you know, randomly playing for a bit on Steam Deck. This is my life now. This is it, man. And I'm just glad I can still play. You know what I mean? All right, there we go.
Too much clutter.
Man, this is still, our character's still looking real good right now, though.
Once more.
So even though I haven't been able to game too much, we're in Act 8. Today is, let's see, Monday. I'm hoping maybe, assuming an hour per act, and maybe we can go faster than that, simply due to the fact that, well, our character is just so much stronger than the content. Maybe we should be able to blast through the rest of the acts in maybe 2 hours, if I'm lucky. And that's pretty good. I would be pretty happy with that. Okay, sell all this. Doesn't look like there's anything here I'm interested in. What are these gloves? They're like trap gloves, right? Sacrifice 8% of life that gain that much energy shield when you cast a spell. Cast speed, a lot of ES. A lot of life. Holy cow.
Good luck to you.
This is an interesting skill, isn't it? Or interesting set of gloves. I don't think it's worth much, and I don't think I can actually use it because I probably would sacrifice all my HP. I don't have leech or anything. But that looks like something you could build around. That's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, let's try and get through Act 8, and I'm really curious to see what maps are like on this character. You know, definitely this time around, I want to get a little bit further into maps. When we were practicing it, we only got to the end of the campaign. Obviously, we didn't have too much time, but now we have all the time in the world. Maybe not all the time in the world. We have 3 months to try and get as far as we can. Realistically, like, am I gonna be playing PoE for 3 months? No, probably not. But I depending on how much I like this league, I can definitely rack up like 2.5. But we're gonna have to see. I'm excited. I'm excited. So far, I have to say, and like I'm a bit of like a GGG fanboy at this point. You must know. But so far, I have been liking this league. Like the reason why I haven't gotten as far in the campaign as maybe I should have is purely because I've been playing a lot of the league content, the league mechanics. It's been a little difficult, but once I have kind of figured out how to play it, you know, how to position your units, and you know, maybe there is some strategy in regards to how you play it. And just like being able to farm for tattoos and stuff, it's been really fun. It's really fun. I keep thinking about Path of Exile, and like I'm not thinking about maps, I'm not thinking about the campaign, I'm thinking about this league mechanic. That's what I want to play. So at nighttime, when I just want to, like, I'm ready to go to bed, I don't want to just, you know, go through campaign, farm things. You know, I obviously don't want to run maps is what I wanted to say, but obviously we're not in maps yet. But you know, I'm like, I don't really want to, I don't feel like progressing, I don't feel like doing these quests. I just run the league mechanic, and I'm telling you, man, it's so much fun. And like, you can disagree with me. I think there are people who say like, oh, it's not fun because it's not rewarding, and that is totally a valid point. But in a way, I feel kind of lucky that I'm not playing just to make profit, right? If you think about everything in how much div you make per hour, or how many chaos you make per hour, it like those are the cases where it's like, okay, I feel like you may have optimized the fun out of the game. I don't know, man. For me, that's not where I get my enjoyment from. For me, it's just like, if the game is fun, it's fun. But I totally get it for people who are like, well, for me, what's fun is like being able to make the most money I can, using that money and funneling towards other characters. There's lots of people who play like that. Nothing against, you know, people who do that. But you know, I did hear that they are going to be buffing, or nerfing. What would be the term? They're making enemies weaker. They're nerfing the enemy, buffing the player. And buffing... Are they buffing rewards for the mechanic? Anyways, they're gonna make it less of a slog, because there are times where you can get stuck doing like a 20-minute fight. It could happen. And that's like... You really don't know whether you're gonna win that fight or not, and you're just holding on for dear life. Those are the hard ones.
When I'm ready, and not before.
But yeah, you know, overall, not everyone's gonna be happy. You know, I am enjoying the league content. You know, I've been saying that quite a few times. I think it's one of the more fun leagues that's come out in a while. Definitely Sanctum was one of the most fun leagues I've played in a very long time. But this league gives off Sanctum vibes. Is it just me? It kind of gives off Sanctum vibes, and I like that. I don't know what exactly it is about it that gives me those vibes, but it's like there's maybe because there's a sense of roguelikeness in the way we're playing this thing, right? It's like you're going through a tournament style battle and you're eliminating people. It reminds me of like, well, it's an auto battler, right? Like it makes me think of like well, there are plenty of auto battlers like this. TFT, Hearthstone Battlegrounds reminds me of that too. You know, obviously like the only thing they don't have is, you know, a lot of these auto battlers have like you get 3 of something and then they upgrade into a stronger thing, and that's really fun as well. They didn't add that mechanic, but it would have been cool actually. GGG, it would have been really cool if you're like, if you get 3 of these warriors or whatever, they turn into a knight. Why didn't we do that? That would have been really, really fun. Okay, and you can't make the argument like, oh, we want you to stay, you know, we don't want you to forever live in the sanctum or in the tournaments. Too late. Okay, people already do that. And why not? Like, if you have fun content, let us play the fun content all the time. I don't, there's already the silver coin system where you have to go out and farm silver coins or buy it. Let me just sit in these tournaments forever and then give me some of the really fun stuff, you know. Give me like cool upgrades. Give me like, there's items like, it's just you know, these leagues, there's always a little bit missing. But yeah, I'm happy with the way it is right now. I'm having fun. Could be better, I admit that. But I also understand if not everybody likes it. It is what it is. You can't make an omelet without cracking a couple eggs, I suppose. Speaking of eggs, I went to the grocery store the other day, and do people do this?
Bye.
What's the degree of like, how much is acceptable when you pick out eggs, right? Like, to me, I feel like it's okay for you to, when you're picking out eggs, to open up the carton and check that there are no cracked eggs. You know what I mean? Just so that, like, you know, if there's a cracked eggs, I don't want that carton. And then I want to make sure that I buy a dozen good eggs. Otherwise, I'm paying for 11 eggs if I see a crack. But I also notice people, and there are like two camps, right? There's one camp where it's like you get what you get and you don't get upset. So there's some people, they take a carton, they don't even look. Grab a carton, don't even look inside. And I'm like, you are ballsy. And I'm assuming the mentality is like, well, that's just the experience of buying eggs. Sometimes there's a cracked egg and, you know, it is what it is. And I'm okay with that. I accept the risk. Which I think is insane, by the way. Absolutely insane. And then I also see some people, what they do is they look inside, open up the box, look inside, notice a cracked egg, open up another box, and then they go find like a good egg and put it in their box and then replace, you know, the other box with this cracked egg. And that I actually think is insane as well. Is it just me? Am I crazy for thinking this? If you're like, I understand the concept of like, you want to get 12 good eggs. No, I'm totally with you on that. But like, why do you have to go and like fuck up this other box? Just go find another box that has 12 good eggs. It's just weird to me. And now you've like touched both boxes and you grabbed egg. I don't know, it's weird. And then I also notice people actually, what they'll do is they'll grab a box of medium-sized eggs and then replace each egg with a large egg from like the large egg box, and then pay whatever the price it is for the medium eggs. Now that is just crossing the line. Okay, now it's just theft. That's not okay. But I noticed that as well. Okay, Someone tell me, where do you stand? Like, I feel like for me, am I the crazy one here? I'm like, mine is reasonable. Like, I'll go, I'll see, are there any cracked eggs? Although, what I'm doing is, though, is I'm like picking up every egg. Maybe that's kind of weird too. Like, I open up a box, I pick up every egg, I make sure none of them are cracked. And if there's one cracked egg in the box, I'll close the box, grab another box, and I check that box. Check all 12 eggs. Because it's kind of gross to me. You got a cracked egg, some of the egg juices, you know, the egg yolk and the egg whites is leaking into your box now. That's also kind of weird. You know what I mean? And then even though you're replacing, you know, your box with a good egg, your box also has like egg whites, potentially egg yolk, that's leaked into the box, and that's kind of gross too. By the way, our character's on autopilot right now. Are you seeing this? I actually think so. I applied a 10% knockback tattoo onto my tree, and occasionally I see enemies getting knocked back by the frostbolt, and it's making me think 100% knockback might not be too bad on this build, where you just like push the enemy to a corner, and they can like surf this frostbolt so I can keep casting Ice Nova and they keep getting hit by it. That would seem like a viable build. You know, with a standard, if you try to do that, you know, not on this league without tattoos, it might not be worth the investment. Just because you gotta put like a knockback support gem, and you gotta get knockback on jewels, you gotta get knockback on the tree. Can you even get knockback on the tree? I don't think you can. So you have to get it all on like gear and stats. And that does not seem worth it. But if you can do it with tattoos, it could be pretty good, you know? Okay, so let's do... Oh, this is a pretty good one. This. That's a juicy node. And then... I guess this. Okay, pop the utility flasks just in case they're like they hurt. If they hit super hard, we definitely want to have our granite and jade flasks active. I can't wait to automate this thing because right now I have to basically piano flask. I hate doing that. Let's piano flask, you ask? Basically going 1 2 3 4 5, like pressing it 1 2 3 4 5, just so that you can trigger all your flasks. I do not enjoy it, but I need it for the defenses because the flask just gives so much. Alright, so we want to find level 2. There's the waypoint. Okay. So yeah, like I mentioned, off stream I've been doing a lot of the tournaments. I've been doing a good amount of heist, and I've been doing a good amount of delves. And just by doing that content, I ended up getting a lot of levels. Heists, especially, it gives you a lot of EXP. Those two actually, both of those league mechanics give you a lot of experience points. So like this area is level 59, we're level 65. That's a big over leveled, I would say. Okay, let me blow my nose real quick. Like I said, my doctor's a little sick. I mean, my daughter's a little sick, and I think I have a little bit of what she has again, which is a problem. Okay, 1 second. All right, I'm good. I'm good. I think I leveled this again. So I got a cast when damage taken curse setup going, which isn't working yet because the curse is too high level. And I also have a cast when damage taken frost bomb going as well. Why don't you have both, you might ask? Because I can't get the right colors and I'm really poor and I don't have chromatics. Okay? Okay? You didn't need to ask, but now I feel bad. Thank you.
When I'm ready and not
How do you feel about that? Because you asked, I feel bad about myself because I don't have any currency. Hmm? You did this. You did this to me. Who's you? It's figurative. There's no real you. There's you watching. But there's also my brain making up a fictional character to write YouTube comments on. But no, you know who you are. You know. Yeah, you. Okay, what are we doing? I'm going crazy here. I'm just talking to myself.
I need more mana.
Oh, this is kind of painful. Okay, good.
Too much clutter.
Alrighty. So this is complete. Keep the sun orb. And we're making good progress. It's only 30 minutes. There's
There you
more
go.
passive skills. Okay, sell. Ooh, these are boots. If these were gloves, these would be really good. Life, resistance, suppress damage. No movement speed though, so unfortunately I do not want to take this. Not even I don't think I want to. Well, yeah, not only do I not want to take it, I cannot take it. Just because losing that much movement speed is just too painful. Okay, let's keep the sun orb. And over here should be the exit. Now, at some point, I'm assuming it's when we get to maps, I'm going to need to start buying some gear. I'm already level 65. Most endgame items start becoming available at like level 68. So that's typically when when people are like, oh, you know, the real content starts at maps. Well, it is true in terms of progression. Like gearing wise too, people say that because that's typically when you're like around 68, 70. And that's when you start getting like good gear and gear that makes sense to use on your build. So, you know, right now it might be okay to start buying gear for my character because probably I won't be swapping it out anytime soon. You know, certain items like a wand for damage, it definitely wouldn't hurt to just buy some. But I don't know, like right now our wand is looking real good. Sorry, wife is texting. Is this and the standard stuff? Standard affair. Can you take out the garbage? Can you wash your cup? Just chores. I feel like as you get older, unless you just don't care, there's just like the chores start piling up. Every day there's something that needs to get done. I miss the days when like my mom would do my chores for me, you know? Those were the good old days. All you had to care about was just, you know, obviously you had to do chores. It's not like I didn't do any chores. But once you have like your own place, you start to realize there were a lot of chores that you probably didn't have to do. You know, having to do the cooking and the cleaning and the doing the dishes, throwing out the garbage and mopping the floors. And it's just, and it's different if it's just like you have to do these chores like once a week. Because the frequency matters. It's the stuff that you have to do every day. It takes so much time, and I'm so bad at it. Like me personally, as a person, I don't think I'm a very tidy or clean person. I'm just not. At this age, I'm mature enough to admit it. I think if I was younger, maybe I wouldn't have admitted it so openly. But I'm not that guy. But like, you know, obviously I have my own place, and my wife is much cleaner than I am, and it bothers her enough that, you know, she does something about it, but at the same time she shouldn't be doing everything. Okay, all you married folk out there, don't make your wives or husbands, I guess, do all the cleaning in the house. It's too much. It's too much.
Need more mana.
Split the work evenly, you know. It doesn't have to be 50-50. Nothing's ever 50-50, but you gotta help. Oh, look at her damage. It's so good. But yeah, in a bit, I gotta go do some chores, I guess. What time is it? How long have we been playing for? Not too long, 36 minutes. We actually got plenty of time. I feel like actually clearing through this very quickly. Everything's getting one shot. That's probably part of it. And this is like what I expect to see with this build, you know? Like, it should be strong enough that things are just getting one shot at you. Throw a frostbolt out and then just chase the frostbolt while it's casting Ice Nova and killing everything in its wake.
When I'm ready and not before.
So it's good. It's good. Things are I'm glad to see that we are doing appropriate damage for where we're at in the game. It actually really excels against bosses, what I find. Like big bosses that don't move around a lot, it does so well against them. Just because the Ice Nova is kind of shotgun. And look at that. Okay, so we could do Alva, but I choose not to. And definitely we're going to be doing more Alvas later in maps, I think. Oh, excuse me. Okay, it kind of looks like... Oh, let's go and do that fall side area. Kind of looks like we're going to be done this act. No, actually, it's going to take a while, huh? Probably like at the 1 hour mark, like another 20 minutes. Is that fair to say? I don't think I'm going particularly fast. And in fact, I think we're probably going very slow, given the level that I'm at, right? Like I should just be running through everything. Will I actually do that? Will I put that in practice? No, chances are I won't, but keep that in mind though. That maybe I should just run through everything. I find it really hard to do. I just want to kill things. Okay. Look at the frostbolts. They're everywhere, man. So good. It's so good. This is such a cool skill. I'm glad I picked to play like a ice character. Frostbolt Ice Nova is just, oh man. The damage is good, it feels good, it looks good. Okay, is this... Am I finally free? Am I finally free to get like cast when damage taking curses? No? Still not? Did I level the wrong cast when damage taken? Level 56 or lower. Level 42 or lower. Should be like this. Level the wrong one. Okay, is this better now? No, this thing still requires level 58. Holy crap, I level Frostbite so much. Okay, Solaris Temple level 2. Up the stairs. Here we go. I found the right way. Yeah, there. That was my knockback jewel doing work right there. If you didn't notice. Occasionally the knockback hits, but yeah, I definitely need more of those jewels in order to actually get this to work, or the tattoos, I mean. Okay. Starting to get a little tired. 10:55. That's pretty much bedtime. I've been sleeping so much earlier these days. Like 11, 10:30. I need to sleep, man. This is what happens when you turn boomer age. You're just older. And your brain works slower and you're more tired. Just feels old, man. That's what it is. Feels old, man. Oh, man. All right. Dude, the explosions look so cool. Little lost.
When I'm ready and not before.
Okay, this looks right. Good. Wow, we're getting a lot of silver coins today. All right. This will take me to the boss room. This is okay.
I need more mana.
Here we go. Did we get anything good? Not really. Oh, was there a recipe back there? I might have missed it. Oh yeah, there was. Oh gosh. Okay. So I still have a quest in this area right here. I still have a trial, like a lab trial that I have to find in that area. Hmm. But
You're right.
otherwise we're pretty much done. So I could finish Act 8 right here and then do the side quests later.
Stay out of
I'm
the
like
shadows.
thinking about it right now. Maybe I do the side quest off stream. We have one trial. Yeah. Okay. So if that's the case, we go back to Lunara's concourse. Harbor Bridge.
You wish to fight the very skies themselves. When all this will be a pleasure to see.
Okay. This is actually a decent leveling area too. There's just like so many mobs. Okay, let's go over to Act 8 boss. I think I mentioned this last time, but this is such a cool boss fight.
I need more mana.
Okay. Okay. And we did this in a delirium too. Crazy. It typically makes the content a lot harder, but I guess we got good damage.
Too much.
Okay, so he unlocks more Pantheon stuff. I'm gonna stick with Soul the Brine King for our stun. And that's basically the end of Act 8. Blood Aqueduct, that brings us to Act 9. So there's 2 more acts to go before we hit maps. But I'm actually getting real tired. So let's actually go to town. And then I'm gonna call it. What am I, level 66? Yeah, I can start buying gear soon. That's kind of interesting. 67. Yeah, I should look into what kind of stuff I want to buy. And then how much they're gonna cost, because I actually don't necessarily know yet. I just know for sure that I'm gonna need to buy some gear. Also missing a 5 link and a 6 link. That's probably, you know, where I should aim for next. That's gonna be huge in terms of damage. But yeah, so we got typically sustaining these 6 power charges because it's only, you know, it's every time you you spend mana, 200 mana, you get a power charge. And I spend mana so quick on this character. So it all just works out. Okay. This build feels so good to play. I need to reiterate this. This feels really good to play. You know, you gotta get used to the fact that it's like, okay, you throw out frost bolts and then you just basically spam ice nova. But once you get used to that,
Too much clutter.
ooh,
When I'm ready and not before.
alright. That takes us to Act 9. Gonna call it right here. A bit of a shorter episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, you can leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more updates in the future. Otherwise, keep in touch, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.